Hello, this is Dr. Nilda Perez, and today we're going to discuss emotional intelligence. Up until the 1990s, IQ was the determinant of a person's intelligence. And since then, there has been a change. And now, emotional intelligence is one of the intelligences that is viewed as crucial. The first discovery of emotional intelligence, which at the time was not called emotional intelligence, was in the 1920s. This research was done by sociologist Edward Thorndike. He suggested that measuring IQ was an unfair method of determining one's intelligence because learning is relative to one's environment and educational structure. In other words, IQ will be unfairly determined if the person's environment, upbringing, culture, and personal experiences was not conducive to learning. So this resulted in IQ scores varying, notably by ethnic group, socioeconomic levels, and physical environment. Then this theory was tabled for many years. In the 1990s, Solvay, Mayer, and Caruso, and then a little while later, Goldman, became interested in the subject matter and started researching it further. And they were the ones that coined the term emotional intelligence. Suddenly, all of these research theorists decided that there was more than one intelligence that determined a person's level of knowledge. The measurement of Although this research determined that emotional intelligence was one of the many intelligences, it wasn't until the early 2000s that Reuven Bar-On came up with a tool called the Emotional Intelligence Quotient, also known as EQ. All at once, to everyone's surprise, the scale tipped. People who scored low in IQ scored high in EQ, changing not only individuals but whole social groups. So why is this important? Well, it was important enough for people to take notice. And companies began evaluating not only their current staff, but potential staff based on EQ scores. They began to take notice that people with high EQ scores were better performers, better leaders, and better with instructions. So the performance of employees, political figures, and leaders can all be directly correlated to EQ scores, which is why so much attention is being paid to EQ. So where does the Latino fall in EQ scores? Well, the Latino has exhibited higher EQ scores than many of their non-Hispanic peers. There may be a direct correlation to the fact that Latinos are a collective society. Latinos are interdependent and see themselves as part of a family and part of a group, which resulted in higher EQ scores. For those of you who have studied the works of Goldman, you know that he has taken EQ and he has brought it into the workforce. He has determined that great leaders have high EQ scores. The ability to manage one's own emotion are at the root of good leadership. A great example of this is when you have a staff member that's being irrational and irate. The better you're able to control your emotions, the better you are at managing theirs. Diffusing conflict. In other words, not allowing someone else's lack of self-control to hook you in to their emotional state. As the future unfolds and globalization increases, you will notice that you're going to deal with multiple cultures and multiple EQs. Therefore, maintaining a high level of EQ will be imperative to your leadership. In this respect, Latinos have an advantage because we're accustomed to being bicultural, bilingual, and dealing in a collective society. The 21st century has not only changed the way we do business, it has changed with who we do business. This new society is demanding a higher state of intelligences that comprise of effective teamwork, excellent performance, and high EQ scores. This change requires more of a we attitude and less of an I attitude. And there's certainly no place for an accusatory you attitude. We have learned that leaders that display characteristics such as the ability to inspire and create visionaries and promote a healthy competition within their staff get a much higher performance from their staff. The takeaway today is that emotional intelligence is crucial in today's society, and Latinos seem to innately possess high EQs, and these qualities position them to be good leaders. Today, I want to give you my free ebook, which delves further into this topic and many other topics for the 21st century business. A link to the ebook is provided in the description. I want to thank you for joining me today on this topic of emotional intelligence. If you like this video, rate, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.